Hi, welcome back to my channel, and I just want to start off saying Happy New Year. We are in 2022. Can you believe it? Can you believe that we're already in 2022? I hope that everyone had a great Christmas and a really nice Old Year's, New Year's, and I had a quiet time, which is exactly what I wanted. I just stayed home and just enjoyed my peace and quiet. Let me know in the description like what you guys did for Christmas, what you did for Old Year's and New Year's Day. Did you go to the beach? I have not been to the beach yet since it's reopened. I think I'm going to give it a while and let the hype calm down because I'm seeing too many people on the beach in pictures. So I'll wait for that to calm down. But today we're doing a person that several of you all have requested in the comments of other videos, and that is Abdul Malik, or as they called him, MalcolmX, not to be confused with MalcolmX. He was quite a character, and we're going to dive into that today. So buckle up and let's go. Abdul Malik, also known as Michael X, was born Michael de Freitas in Trinidad and Tobago. He was born in Belmont, Trinidad, and he was a self-proclaimed black revolutionary and civil rights activist. His activist work was mainly in the 1960s, but let's go a little bit before that. His mother was a black woman in Trinidad and Tobago, and it was reported that she used to practice obeah, and his father was a Portuguese white man who was never in Michael's life. Now I realize that he has a lot of names, so I'm just going to call him Abdul throughout this video, okay? In 1957, he emigrated to London, where he lived and worked as an enforcer. I'm not sure what that meant, but an enforcer to a really shitty landlord. He hated performing this duty, but he really needed the money, so he did it anyway. During this time, there started to be these radical political activist groups in Notting Hill, England, and this is where he will get his first taste of activism. In the mid-1960s is when he adopted the name Michael X. He actually was mistaken for Malcolm X's brother by a hotel receptionist, and I guess Abdul really liked it, so he adopted the name himself. So by this time he was already pretty active in the Black Power movement and all these activist groups in the 1960s in London, and he was garnering quite a name for himself. He was even regarded by a newspaper as the voice of black bitterness, and after they did an article about his activism. In 1965, he founded the Racial Adjustment Action Society, or shortened as RAS. And this is when he started going by Abdul Malik. I'm not sure what motivated the change in name from Michael X to Abdul Malik. But the police were not happy about his involvement in these activism groups because he was riling people up to get to join the Black Power movement. Abdul, along with the London Free People's School, which was described as a hippie group, they were responsible for organizing the first Notting Hill Carnival, and this is something that still takes place to this day. He said in a speech in Reading that in 1958 he saw, and I quote, "white savages kicking black women in the streets and black brothers running away. If you ever see a white laying hands on a black woman, kill him immediately." Now you could imagine the police in London did not appreciate this, and this landed him in jail. He was the first non-white person to be imprisoned under the UK's Race Relations Act. Now this act was designed to protect people of color from discrimination and violence from white people, but they charged him under the section that he was likely to stir up hatred against a certain group of persons in society based on the color of their skin, the group being white people. In 1969, he created a commune called the Black House, and this house garnered some support. Even John Lennon and Yoko Ono donated a bag of their hair to be auctioned off to raise money to help the Black House. Now, there was trouble in the water. In 1970, a businessman was lured to the Black House and allegedly tortured and made to wear a spiked slave collar, all while being humiliated, abused, and extorted for money. MalcolmX, or Abdul, and 4 of his colleagues were arrested for the extortion. But his bail was paid by John Lennon in 1971. Then the Black House burned down mysteriously, and MalcolmX, or Abdul, fled to Trinidad. He created another version of this Black House commune in Trinidad, approximately 16 miles outside of Port of Spain, and he said that this commune was going to be dedicated to black empowerment. He's quoted as telling the Trinidad Express, "The only politics I ever understand is the politics of revolution." Back in London, however, the police were investigating the fire of the Black House, and they discovered 2 shallow graves with bodies inside. These bodies were those of 2 members of the Black House, one being Joseph Skerritt and the other Gail Benson. The cause of death being basically chopped to death. Now, what made this case even more high profile is that Gail Benson was the daughter of the MP, of the Conservative MP, Leonard F. Plug. So the police were looking for Abdul. They were looking for him to charge him with these murders. But he was in Guyana at the request of the Prime Minister of Guyana, Forbes Burnham. The police captured him in Guyana and took him back to England for his trial. He was only charged with Skerritt's murder, and a witness outrightly said that he murdered Skerritt because he would not follow orders to kill local police officers. Abdul was sentenced to death. Other members of his group were tried for Gail Benson's murder, but they also stated that it was Malcolm who showed her the shallow grave, pushed her into it, and then began to chop her about the body. But there was never any solid evidence that he was responsible for Benson's murder. Then the Save Malik Committee was forged. This committee pleaded and lobbied for clemency for Malik. However, in 1975, he was hanged. Guys, that's it. That wraps up the life and the events surrounding Abdul Malik, aka MalcolmX. Tell me, what do you think about this situation? What did you know about him? What are your opinions of him and how he met his fate? Do you think that he was responsible for these murders? Do you think that he was a revolutionary or an extremist? Let me know in the comments below, and until next time. Oh, also, you all are welcome to put suggestions in the comments. I always read the comments and go through them and see what suggestions you all have, because I want to make what you want to see. So until next time, bye.